Okay, here we go. Very nice. Hi, hello. Punkleton Stonkleton here, aka Ponky Stonks, back at it with another video. Had a bit of a shaving experience, a bit of a manscaping experience. Now you can see the sharp jawline that I have. Just joking. It's basically non-existent. Like if I do this, dude, like coughed and it was like a frog. Like that is just smooth from neck to cheek. That is smooth, no jawline. And that's why I have a beard, usually, because the jawline is it's like non-existent. Anyways, rocking the facial hair. Reason I went like this is because I like to think of this as like what it's doing is it's the 5 eyebrow look, because I'm taking the eyebrows and I'm just duplicating them on different parts of my face, because I can't get rid of these, right? What am I going to do with these bad boys? They're big, they're bushy, they're expressive, you know what I mean? A lot of attention goes to the eyebrows. So rather than shaving the eyebrows or reducing volume of the eyebrows, we're going to increase the eyebrows on different parts of my face. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half. So the 5 eyebrows look is what we're going for. And I have no idea why I just explained all that. What are we talking about? We are talking about Pokemon, as always. Okay. Wasted enough of your time. Let's get into it. Oh, man. Pokemon. We are in a time right now of consolidation, of pullbacks, of cooling off, whatever you want to call it, in the Pokemon market. And it is good. It is good. It's good. It's healthy. Honestly, I am expecting more pain or more reductions in price short term, but I believe long term in Pokemon. And so I want to start off this video by saying that. Well, really, I say start off this video, but we're 3 minutes in right now. And, anyways, nothing I can do. I'm not restarting the video. I want to say this. Look, to start off my point about Pokemon, I want to say this. We are in a very good place with Pokemon. Pokemon continues to look great as a place to put some money into to see where it goes. As a speculative investment, Pokemon still looks really good. The reason for that is that Pokemon have some aspects to their business that make it really good for people like me to make money from them. I'm sure I could have said that in a better way, but we're going off the dome. And so let me just explain quickly before we really get into it. Pokemon have shown that they want to nurture a secondary market, not just a primary market of people buying their cards and their products. Pokemon obviously looks after them, and they make sure people, their cards can get out to people, and people are ripping packs, and people, collectors are having cool stuff like, not just cards, but posters and EV pouches and, promo cards and all this cool stuff. They do look after their fan base, the people who play the game, but also the people who just want to rip cards. But they also have shown that they look after the customers, which they are customers, that buy sealed products and buy graded cards to a lesser extent, but who are buying their sealed products mainly and buying and selling the individual cards. Obviously, I'm more of a sealed product guy, but Pokemon has shown that they do care about that aspect of Pokemon because they do things like when they have a really, really popular chase card, they print it as a part of a set and they leave it alone. Now, people who've been involved in Pokemon are going to say, well, obviously, because that card is part of that set. But no, not quite obviously, because if you don't understand long-term how to take care of a secondary market, you will say, hold on, let's take Umbreon from Evolving Skies. This Moonbreon is an extremely popular card. If we create Moonbreon as a promo and slap it on some of our products that don't really sell, oh boy, you are going to sell out of basically anything at that point if you slap a Moonbreon on it, right? I say basically anything within reason of price, but if Pokemon wanted to, they could say, well, people love Moonbreon, let's make Moonbreon a promo, chuck it in some products, and it will fly off shelves. And it will. But they don't, because they understand that they need to keep some things within certain boundaries for their products to really be collectible and sought after. That's why Pokemon is sought after. And geez, this is not the point I was really trying to make with this video, but okay, here we are. Pokemon is sought after and Pokemon is desired, Pokemon cards, because if you can't pull that Moonbreon from packs, there's no other way to get it, right? It's highly desirable, has a high price tag. If Pokemon wanted to print it as a promo, they could, and people would buy it, but they don't. They are effectively leaving money on the table as such. I often think about this one video that I saw ages ago. Not ages ago, probably like 12 months ago. The guy had like 30 views on his channel. And he had this video, this like old man. And he was talking about if Pokemon wanted to, they could theoretically come out with a product and call it Sword and Shield All-Stars, right? Just a set called Sword and Shield All-Stars. And they could take the top chase cards from every Sword and Shield set and pack them into one set, right? They could take Moonbreon. They could take, I don't know, the Lugia from Silver Tempest. They could take the Gengar from Fusion Strike. They could take the Blaziken from Chilling Reign to some extent. I guess that is a top chase. Anyway, you get the idea. They could take these top chase cards. The Charizard V from Brilliant Stars. They could take these top chase cards. I almost forgot. And they could put them into a set and call it Sword and Shield All-Stars. And if they wanted to, and they can, they could print them again, put them into packs, and give people the chance to pull the chase cards from Sword and Shield. Maybe they would make them rare. Maybe they would make them not so rare. Maybe they can make it cheap. Maybe they can make it really expensive. But you bet that that is a possibility and they could do it and they would make a ton of money. But they don't. They don't, because they're willing to leave a bit of money on the table in order for their product to be highly desired. There is one way to get Moonbreon, and that is rip an Evolving Skies pack, or rip 2,000 Evolving Skies or 3,000 Evolving Skies packs, right? That's the only way to do it. So it kind of becomes this ecosystem that they've created that makes their products desirable. There is one way to get a stamped Charmander promo from Obsidian Flames ETB, and that is get a Pokemon Center Obsidian Flames ETB. That is the one way to do it. They don't break their own rules. Well, yeah, that was a bit of a rant. But the reason I'm saying that is because I really want you guys to understand Pokemon has shown integrity, and they have shown that they have a respect for the secondary markets, for collectors and investors that hold their products. And they have shown that I think more so than respecting collectors and investors, I think it's more so that they want to keep collectors' values, not values, and in that sense, but more like they want collections to have value. They want Pokemon collectors to have a Pokemon card collection, and they want it to retain value. They don't want people having to worry about reprints of certain cards like 10 years later just because the card is, gone crazy in value. I do believe that Pokemon skirts the borders sometimes. They get close. And what I mean by, they get close is, stuff like in celebrations doing the Charizard from base set, the base set holos with the stamp. You're getting close. But it's not quite a reprint, but it's close. But I see what they're trying to do. And I think in XY Evolutions, they did something similar, taking the base set Charizard, reusing the art. And they're getting close, but they haven't quite, it's still not a reprint of those cards. So that clearly shows that they are intentionally not trying to pull any fast ones on people. And they're not trying to do something too shady, but, they will get close to the line, but they won't cross it. So, geez, I totally forgot the point I was trying to make, but really I'm trying to say that Pokemon remains in a good place. We can trust that the speculative investment of buying Pokemon sealed, the fundamentals are still in place and nothing has changed. So Pokemon remains as a great speculative play, I believe. Now, when you see pullbacks in the market, like what we're seeing now, consolidations or cooling off, players leave the game, okay? And these players that leave the game are people that wanted quick tendies, that wanted quick flips. 1 second, I'm just going to drink some water. I want quick money, right? And so a lot of the people that you'll start to kind of leave are people that were kind of buying at all-time highs or trying to buy and immediately flip. And as you sort of start to get more products that are like the kind of price is less predictable or things become unscalpable, then you start to see players leave the game. All right. I do believe overall we are in a healthy place. But I think you're going to start to see some players leave the game. And when you see players leave the game, they don't just put their investments in a wardrobe and call it a night and go to bed. They sell those investments. They thought they were going to sit on it and it would just appreciate. They can tell their family, they can tell their wife, we're going to be rich. Well, they can't really tell them that anymore because the collector was down for a day. Boo-hoo, right? Your collector app was showing red for an entire week. Wow. Sorry, sweetie, we're not going to get rich. So they start to sell off and you start to see people sell off, especially after such a long bull run, you're going to see people sell off. And hey, that's just life. Overall, this is just a period where, the ultra bullish, insane euphoria is cooling off and we're going to return back to normal. But I think we see a large dip before then. And I think someone just came to my house, so I'm going to have to go to the door, but I think that's the video. Pokemon remains in a really good place. We are seeing a temporary price correction movement thing, but overall, we're good. That is me, Mr. Five Eyebrows, Mr. Five Brows, signing out. Love you. Bless you. Bye.